And we are back, and we just finished watching 2022's Black Adam, rated PG-13, with a runtime of 2 hours and 5 minutes. I think this is still in the theaters. I don't remember.
I think it's in some theaters, but we saw it on
HBO Max. Yeah. Yes, because it's too dang cold. Actually, it's been better, but still.
Shockingly warm.
Shockingly warmer compared to the sub-zero degree weather we were having in the last few weeks. Okay, this is the passion project of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I know.
That took 10 years in the making.
Yeah, he announced it like 10 years ago.
And I gotta say, I enjoyed the shit out of this. Language,
please. No, yeah, I enjoyed it too. I don't know.
America, what the hell? I mean, really. So, okay, according to IMDb, the budget on this was $195 million. The US and Canada gross was $167, but the worldwide gross is $391 mil, which is still under the $400 mil that I would have to make in order to break even, because you have to do the budget times 2, right?
Movie money is just ridiculous. I don't get
and yet Cameron's is halfway to go.
So like $2 billion.
Jesus. Yeah. America. What the hell? So, okay. We're pairing this movie with Smile, which did an insane amount of gross margin.
Well, it was vastly cheaper.
It was vastly cheaper, but still, I mean, that movie made 10 times its money.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect this, but I think I sort of expected this to make like Spider-Man money, because it's like, first of all, it's The Rock.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love The Rock?
It's Rock. It's a violent superhero movie, and all the biggest criticism you hear from certain sects of fanboys is, oh, the Marvel films are too watered down and not violent enough. There's not enough. It's like for little kids. And
this was an acceptable level of violence.
Like Rock is brutally murdering people
left and right.
The first guy he disintegrates with electricity, and the last guy he literally tears in half. Like from top to, not like he tore his upper and lower body apart. He ripped him and he bisected him.
like Gozer and Ghostbusters.
Yes, like J.K. Simmons treatment from Ghostbusters Afterlife. Just split right down the middle.
I heard you laugh.
Yes, I love over the top
gratuitous
violence like
in
that.
movies, not real life.
Movies,
yes.
Where were those people?
Yeah. I don't know.
And now they're complaining about him. They're saying that he's screwed Henry Cavill.
Yes. No.
By actually putting him at the end of the movie. I don't understand.
Fanboys,
can people
take
not
a
be happy?
Seat. Take a seat. Take the loss and shut your mouth. I don't know what's going on. The world is upside down. How did the movie, okay, again, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but Smile was so subpar compared to this.
Smile was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was just a terrible movie.
And yet it made so much money.
So much money. Why? Because
and
of
I
creepy
feel like,
smiles? Is that all it takes?
It was clever marketing. I will give it that.
The marketing
was clever.
It was brilliant.
But, I mean, it wasn't a good horror movie.
No, it wasn't scary at all.
It wasn't scary at all. And here's something that was fun, entertaining, like from start to finish.
He had good little quips.
I mean, if I'm going to be a jackass here, my only notes would have been like, yo, you're from 5,000 years ago. You don't have perfect English.
Well, he had it as Black Adam because he's a magical being. But when he was normal guy,
he spoke in the dialect.
He did not speak English.
Right.
And it's funny. It's funny how Rock is like the only actor who you need CG to like dumb down his physical appearance.
Yes.
Everybody else is getting like computer enhanced abs and stuff.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Rock is
we gotta shrink it down.
We gotta shrink you down.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got like the reverse Steve Rogers.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go around the table and get impressions. Olive G, we'll start with you. What did you think of this film?
I thought it was good.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite scene? I mean, we're spoiling this, right? Because it's been in the theaters for a long time, since the summer, I think, no? Or late summer? I gotta be honest,
what's really to spoil? It's sort of a straight action movie. you could talk about what you've seen because 90% of what you've seen, you got a little taste of in the commercials and the trailer.
Yeah.
Once you get past the plot is basically he's sort of like Dark Shazam.
Or Dark Superman.
No,
Or
it's Shazam because
Shazam.
it's the
Yeah,
exact
'cause
same
he's-
thing. He says Shazam and boom, he's Black Adam.
Or Teth Adam
Yes, Teth Adam because
was the absolute correct vernacular. Well, we heard that in so many different ways during this film.
Like we were saying Fifth Adam,
We call him
10th Adam.
Fifth Ted. Yeah.
But he becomes this super powered guy, and there's a little. I guess we shouldn't like go into spoilers as far as his like the details of his origin. Maybe people would want to find out that on their own. But as for what's going on, it's like he shows up. The Justice Society is sent to bring him in because he's deemed too dangerous for some reason, and hijinks ensue. And there's always the bad guy, and the evil comes out, and you get the super bad guy at the end. And there's the big boss fight.
The costumes on this were fantastic. Hawkman's costume. I mean, my Hawkman will always be Brian Blessed from Flash Gordon. But this costume was out of control. I loved it. It was just beautiful and just amazing looking.
Yeah, he looked great. I would probably say of the Justice Society, his outfit and everything looked like they put the most effort into it.
I mean, Dr. Fate didn't look too
Fate
bad.
looked okay, but it was like there was the helmet and then it was
floaty
just,
cape.
He was just like a floaty cape guy who his costume really didn't have much going for it. It was just basically like a blue jumpsuit.
And then Cyclone.
I don't remember what the hell her costume looked like.
She was just
rotating.
Yeah.
She really didn't do much. If there was any weak points in this movie, it was Cyclone and Adam Smasher.
Who had the worst dialogue. I hated him. I didn't.
He was just supposed to be goofy and
Comic
I guess
relief.
the comic relief, but honestly, I felt the brother was way better as far as comic relief. The uncle. And I didn't think the movie needed either of those two characters. Or if you're going to put in interesting sub characters, make them a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Give me something a little bit more exciting to go off of.
I feel like Cyclone was more interesting than Adam Smasher.
The only thing that made her interesting was like when they're discussing their origins, I guess, and she's just like, yeah, I had nanites forced into my body by a mad scientist that kidnapped me when I was a teenager. And that sounds interesting. Could we get more? No, it's not really relevant to the story of Black Adam, so we're just gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
And the other guy's deal was, I inherited my powers from my uncle.
Yeah. It runs in the family.
Henry
Winkler making a little appearance. The nicest guy in Hollywood, from what I've heard, or one of the nicest guys. We should go back to this.
If you were going to have like two sub characters who were going to help along the way, and you don't really have a lot of time to give them backstories, make them look way more visually interesting or give them more interesting powers. Her power was literally spinning.
Yeah,
and
with like this colorful mist.
Yeah, they would show her like rotating in slow motion, and like dust would form around her. But she didn't really do much. And the other guy just got big.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he would bumble around and he hit Hawkman by accident once.
Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah, like in Suicide Squad, you had characters where you didn't have a lot of time to give them colorful backstories, but they looked
super cool.
Interesting and whatnot. Like Polka Dot Man, you didn't really get a lot of info. What you did get was it was great. They interspersed it into the movie. It was just enough. And he had like that crazy power. Or King Shark. You didn't really learn anything about King Shark, but look at him.
Nom noms?
Yeah. Just look at him and you were like, okay, I am not bored with the scene where it's just King Shark staring at a bird or looking at jellyfish or whatever the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
Even Weasel.
Yeah.
Weasel did nothing, had no backstory, nothing, but look at him.
Yeah.
5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how you effectively use side characters where you don't really have a lot of screen time to give them these amazing backstories or anything. Make them visually interesting, give them a unique power, have them serve a purpose. Cyclone and Adam Smasher did not serve any purpose at all.
Yeah.
it was like, oh, she's great with computers. Were computers really used a lot in the movie?
Not really, no.
And Adam Smasher was basically just there to bumble something and then have Hawkman go, we're going to talk about this later.
What? Yeah, when we get back to the ship. Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
that was the only, to me, that was the only real.
I agree with that.
point.
But it still didn't take away from my enjoyment of the film.
No.
I think even with those things, like my complaint was, how the hell does he have perfect English going on? He doesn't even have like
he's magic.
I know, but still, like he's from this area of the world, and he doesn't even talk like Adriana or Kareem or what was the boy's name? Amon. Right. So why doesn't he sound like them?
Because he's the Rock.
You know what? The Rock could do no harm.
Giant Samoan playing an Egyptian
The
guy.
explanation for this was that he had powers. Like Dad said, when he wasn't like active with his powers, he wasn't speaking English.
That's true. All right. So
Shazam and Black Adam are magical characters. Their powers are based in magic. It's not like they're just some.
So, question for you. Okay, should we go around and get impressions first, or should we deep dive into this?
Because we haven't asked the kids anything.
I know. I keep cutting them off. I feel bad. Okay. Do Black Adam and Billy Babson / Shazam exist in the same universe?
Yes.
Babson.
Isn't that his name?
Batson.
Oh, it's Batson?
I think there's
Billy
a T,
Batson. Oh,
not a
sorry.
B.
Yeah, of course they exist. Jaimin Hunsu was the wizard in both of those movies.
He was, but like.
In fact, they mentioned Shazam. They mentioned Black Adam in Shazam.
Right, but because to me it's like I thought only one person could be the champion. So I mean, technically, are there 7 champions?
There's a lot of champions. I mean, Billy transformed his whole family.
Right, and now you've got.
And Black Adam was the first.
Right.
Was the first champion. Although, I mean, we're not going to go into detail, so I forget I mentioned it.
I mean, I think you can infer.
Nah.
All right, whatever. All right, Olive G. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You like the film?
Yeah.
What did you like about it?
I guess I like the fighting.
The fighting was good. What about the costumes? You're all about fashion.
No.
You didn't like the costumes?
I didn't care.
No, really? I'm surprised.
You didn't think Hawkman looked cool?
I thought Hawkman looked so
I don't
excellent.
care about Hawkman.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
Did you have a favorite character in this movie?
I guess her brother. The guy that
Uncle Karim. Yes, he was fantastic.
Yeah,
He was
he was good comedy relief.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were both strong characters, Adriana and Kareem and Amon. Like, I agree with you. They could have done away with Cyclone and Adam and just had maybe Hawkman and Dr. Fate be.
Yeah, or just make 2 more visually interesting characters. Like I said, if you're not going to give me any backstory, make me interested when I see them on the screen.
Right.
There was nothing visually interesting about them. They didn't have cool costumes. They didn't have cool effects for their powers. Seriously, Adam Smasher just his mask looked like a dime store Deadpool.
Yeah, there was nothing dynamic about him.
Nothing. It was like, oh look, I'm growing.
I mean, I think that actor appeals to a lot of young people, but
does he? I mean, he's not.
He was in that thing we watched on Netflix. What was it called again?
He's a
All the
decent
Boys I've
looking
Ever
guy,
Loved or
but
something?
he's not like strikingly handsome.
Something like that.
Like, and plus, if he was like, I think we mentioned this when we were watching it. If he was going to be that sort of like bumbling and goofy, he should have been way better looking. Like. It's like, oh, he's such an
thing to say, but it's true.
Yeah, it's like he's such an idiot, but look at him.
Yeah,
he's like the doctor from 30 Rock. Oh, we let him do brain surgery. Just look at him. He's so handsome. Yeah, John Hamm.
Or Chris Helmsworth in the Lady Ghostbuster movie.
Oh yeah,
that was so great.
Yeah, he was such an idiot.
Kevin,
what's better, me playing the saxophone or me looking at the saxophone?
Yes,
Listening to the saxophone. What makes me look more intelligent?
Okay, fair enough. Gigi, what'd you think?
it was a good film.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
Did you have a favorite scene? We don't care if we're spoiling it.
Nah, there are good scenes.
Did you have a favorite character?
I liked Amon's mother. I don't remember her name.
Adriana. Yeah, she was good. She was strong. She was smart. She was quick. I completely understood.
She cared for her family a lot.
She cared for her family a lot. She
She gave Hawkman and the Justice Society a talking to about what gives you the right to come in here.
Right, exactly.
We've been occupied for 27 years by a gang of terrorists.
Yeah.
And nobody's done anything, and now suddenly you show up. Get out of here.
Yeah. So there was like a lot of that. Like that was. I mean, I felt like the script was decent. I mean, it's not Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
Brilliant, but it's still like a good, solid story.
Fun movie.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting this to change my life. It's Black Adam.
Yeah, it's
I was surprised by the level of him just kicking ass.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
He was tearing people apart, and he just didn't care. And like when he was working with them, it was like it made sense. Yeah. It's like, oh, you were going to kill those guys. Like, no, you saved them, so we did it your way.
Yeah, yeah.
It made sense. All of that made sense to me.
Yeah.
You had this guy who he's willing to do these things, but he's here and he's being like sort of like explained how things are working now, and he has some guilt he wants to make up for, clearly. So it made sense to me.
Yeah,
it made sense. So.
Well, I love the level of violence. I mean, it wasn't like on par with the Raid or anything, but
yeah, nothing's gonna touch the Raid.
No. But this was for a superhero movie aimed at teen audiences. This, I thought, had a respectable level of violence and was decent. The costuming was fantastic. The CG was really well done. I agree with you. I think probably most of the budget was spent on Hawkman's outfit, and it showed. But still, a good overall project. I mean, the story was decent. It moved at a good clip. 2 hours is a lot to ask. It didn't feel like 2 hours. It moved fairly quickly. The story moved well. I thought all the characters' motivations were clear, especially on the good and the bad side. The Rock was great. He was definitely like toning down the charm, but like I thought it worked.
Yeah. No,
I mean, he's an imposing character.
Yeah.
Physically, and in this story too, because he's got like these crazy like superpowers. Like he's basically indestructible.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right. Get numbers. I'll start with you. We'll go around the table this way. 1 to 10.
I give it like a 7 or an 8.
7 or 8. What about you, G?
Yeah, I'll say 7.
What about you, Olive G?
8.
An 8. I'm going to give it a 7. I mean, it wasn't a perfect film, but I think for DC properties, this was way better. And I'm really disappointed that people didn't give it the love that it should have gotten. This was definitely way better than Smile. I mean, I know it's comparing apples to oranges, but they came out roughly around the same time. And
this
I feel
was
like
far more entertaining.
This was way better.
1,000
times better than Smile. And yet it did good numbers. I mean, at the end of the day, it's almost at where it needs to be. But, I mean, we're not going to see this character anymore, it seems like. Anyway, it doesn't even matter.
Doesn't seem like anything in this film will be affecting any future work. It is strange. I'm just wondering if maybe, like I said, maybe DC... films based upon the DC properties, Warner Brothers films, superheroes, they just have like this sort of like taint on them.
But that's weird because you had a film. Okay, so let's look at this. Again, I hated all. Well, okay, I can't say because I don't think I've ever sat through a Snyder movie from start to finish. But I don't think any of them I've liked. I mean, the only one I liked is the first one, only because Michael Shannon's in it. And I love that guy.
You qualify that by saying the Snyder superhero movies. You have sat through Zack Snyder's films.
Oh, right. Sorry. I meant...
He's made a lot more than just this.
Yes. And his superhero movies are not his best work.
No, like Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, they were not really that good.
Yeah. Sit with that. I'm talking to you. But I feel like the point I'm trying to make is that you had... Okay, so like the first Wonder Woman was great. Here's this director who came in, took this property, and really made an amazing story.
Yeah.
the first Shazam. The first Shazam.
The only Shazam. Right,
Well, the second one's coming out this year. But here's another property, also DC, that I agree with you because we've had this conversation, that I don't think anyone had any faith in, but then turned around and did really great numbers and was entertaining as hell.
Yeah, it was charming.
It was great. And I think those are the stories that have done really well for them, not this brooding superhero crap, right? Although Batman aside, because Batman is its own entity, I think you could put
they're
Batman
the
on
successful
a bag
Batman,
of marshmallows and it'll do well.
The successful Batman movies are the ones that don't involve
the rest of the gang.
Any sort of movie universe.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that do successfully
Right.
or perform successfully.
Right. You do have these pockets, and even, I guess, up until this point, if I was going to put in, like, the top tier of DC superhero movies that I've seen, I would have put Aquaman, but this is way better than that, no?
Yeah. All right, let's
That's
wrap
all you
this.
got?
Yeah, let's wrap this up. I've become distracted.
All right. That's it from us. Absolutely. Do yourself a favor. If you have not seen Black Adam, it's streaming right now on HBO Max. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You just have to turn on the TV. That's it. That's it from us, and we will bid you all a
Good night.